What the hell did I just witness on Sunday? 49ers, I mean, seriously, we continue to regress week in and week out. Oh, they have their playoff hopes alive. Nope, because we have Nick Mullens at quarterback. And by the way, I think he just played his way out of the league. Coming into this year, I got it. People were saying, oh, he could start for half of the teams in the NFL. 2020 has quickly reminded folks, was it all a mirage? Like, was this all true? Or are players just regressing? Either way, the blame has to be put on someone. Like, this is the type of performance, even though, yeah, it was a one-possession game. That was all BS. We're playing a 5-7 team here. The Washington football team, they don't even have a name. It's a location. And Alex Smith didn't even play the second half. Dwayne Haskins is probably worse than Nick Mullens. And you lose. You lose. That's the bottom line. The 49ers lost to a 5-7 football team without a quarterback, without a solid offense. Defensively, I don't think it was a major problem, but at quarterback, Kyle Shanahan, you don't have a decent quarterback in that room that can manage your offense. Offensive line was terrible. Yet again, something's got to give. And I get that no one's going to get fired, but if this was somebody else, like if this was, I don't know, the Jets, someone else is walking out that door. Obviously not the defensive coordinator this time, maybe the actual head coach. But since it's the San Francisco 49ers, since there's stability in the front office, nothing's going to happen. Nick Mullens will probably get rolled out again next week against Dallas and would probably look just as silly with Aldon Smith and those defensive fronts that Dallas has. But I'm so over Nick Mullens. I'm so over this season. I'm so over the injuries. It's just like every week something new happens. Another player gets hurt or COVID situation, or you just lay a goose egg like Nick Mullens has time and time again this year. It just reminds me how much Jimmy Garoppolo meant. And no, he's not the answer. I don't think he can give you over the hump, because that's the bottom line here. Who's going to be the quarterback that can take you to that promised land? Jimmy Garoppolo had an opportunity, but he isn't. I don't think he's the answer, especially with all the question marks the Niners have right now. Offensive line, I mean, they need a corner. They'll need pretty much a new secondary at this point. And then you factor in, the receivers. They have Debo, Ayuk, but then you look at Kendrick Bourne dropping balls. I mean, my goodness, these people need to just help these players realize that they're not just playing for a playoff spot. They're playing for careers moving forward. Like Kendrick Bourne, he's just signed to a 1-year deal. Like you're playing for a paycheck next year. You'd hope to get that point across, but either way, the Niners just looked terrible, regardless of what the score said. I don't really care about that. They lost to a 5-7 football team. They were 5-7, and it wasn't even that close. Offense is just hurting this team more than it's helping. Like, I'd rather just have the Niners play defense all game than to watch a performance on offense like that. That was abysmal of a performance. Put that on Nick Mullens. Put that on Kyle Shanahan. Like, yeah, if you're tanking, then don't bring the hopes up of, oh, maybe Jimmy comes back or maybe Kittle comes back. No, because I know they're not going to come back. In a season like this, why would you bring them back? So stop playing with people's emotions. Let's start looking at reality. They're probably going to pick top 10 now, depending on what happens next week. And yeah, we're looking at getting a quarterback. I think that's where the Niners are at. I think I thought they were probably in a reset mode. Now they're probably in a rebuild mode. Like, how many players are you going to be able to bring back? Like, half of this team is going to be gone. And with the cap space, priority is Trent Williams, priority is Fred Warner. Like, you'll need a cheaper quarterback, in my eyes. Someone cheaper could do the job definitely better than Mullens and probably better than Jimmy, or just as good as Jimmy and what he brings to the table. But that's just where we're at. And I hate to say, like, this was kind of a tipping point for me. Like, okay, maybe Nick Mullens could just grow from this. Maybe he can be more consistent. Let's see what he got. Nope, he just continues to regress. Maybe we look at the quarterback coach, like, who are we going to put this blame on? Because somehow, some way, players have regressed, coaches have regressed, this team in general has regressed. And we get with the injuries, but we thought we had something with the backup players, and we're quickly finding out that is not true. It was probably a mirage, but Nick Mullens, my goodness, I mean, I don't think I've seen a bad of a game from the Niners since, 2016 with Chip Kelly. Probably the lowest point from this entire, like, Shanahan era for me personally. And I mean, if Nick Mullens is going to be the starter, why watch? Why watch the game if I know what I'm going to get from Nick Mullens? A casual pick, some more sacks, and this offensive line has just been brutal, not helping their quarterback at all. It's just a recipe for disaster. The Niners have a recipe for a disaster, and it's not stopping anytime soon with, 4 games left or whatever the case may be. The Niners need to quickly just figure this out. Just head into the off season as clean as possible. And it's time to look yourselves in the mirror and find out who really is to blame for all of this. I'm done.